not guilty pleasure, but absolute guilty pleasure.
We don't do guilty pleasures. No guilt, just pleasure. Own it. You're having a great time.
I am.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm good. Are you the one who's doing all of the things? Do you want me to do all of the things? Let me do all of the things, girl. Okay. Woo! Do you know
Are
what?
we still doing? Yeah.
Are we still doing the thing? Love is Blind? We are absolutely doing that because we need to talk. I have only...
How is it? Sorry.
I've only watched two.
Okay, yeah. How did I completely forget that that's what we're talking about? I'm really sorry. I know. I'm with you though. I'm right there. It's cool.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
No,
It'll be great.
Hang on. I mean, you can keep this in, but I do have to come back. I have notes. I'll be right back.
See, I was going to make them and I didn't because unorganized. God. Normally, I mean...
Sit back.
I was going to say normally I'm organized. I'm not. But normally I'm at least a little bit better than what I am today.
Well, the reason I took notes was because I know what my memory is like. So I was just like, if I don't make at least a few scratchings, then I'm not going to remember what happened when. And especially because I watched 2 episodes.
I was literally thinking last night to go back over the first 2 just so I can see what happened in the first 2 so I don't start talking about the other episodes that I saw. But I just want to at least get like people's names up. Oh my God. Okay.
Whilst you do that, let me introduce everyone to the show. So, guys, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
So we are literally on complete opposite ends of the energy spectrum today.
Oh my God. That was it. That was the burst.
That was it. Okay.
Those 4 grapes that I popped into my mouth before we pressed record. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for pressing play on this wonderful podcast of ours that we call It's All Frolics. It is I don't know, I'm leaning into the mic. This is the problem. This is why I need it just a little bit higher.
I do that too. Just trust that you can be heard. You can. You're fine.
Okay. Hopefully. Maybe... But for poor Rick, not too much, hopefully. I'm always going to be like commenting on that. Hurt me to the core, but I know it's true. Yes, so here we are for another episode of It's All Frolics. For those of you who are new to the podcast, first off, thank you very much for joining us. You are going to have a great time with us.
You are.
I can't tell you. Yeah, I can't tell you that it's a structured conversation. We do put some structure in there, but you know, we go all over the place. So if you like a roller coaster, this is the place to be. And after you've done listening to this episode, why not have a little listen to a few of our others? Start at the very beginning, dip in and out, however you see fit. It's like a pick and mix up in this bitch. So I guess actually that sugar rush has actually extended that little bit.
I love it. I love it. This is one of my favorite Amy's.
Oh my God. So if you haven't picked up, yes, my name is Amy. I'm one of your hosts. And we are joined by our lovely Mello today.
Very.
Asleep. I'll do both
Hi.
voices. Hi, Mo, how have you been? I've been fine, thank you very much. How have you been? I've been great.
I'll just dub my mouth. Just dub me.
Oh my God. Just have a still of you there and I'll just talk over.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put it out the bag. I'm gonna put it out the bag. Just level the
deep,
expectations.
Girl. Dig deep. So you said, well, you reminded me that today's episode is episode 40.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it really is.
I
It
was
really is.
I was at my aunt's a couple of nights ago, and she's been asking me for a while to send her the link, and I kept forgetting. Kinda. And it was just like, okay, no, she really wants to see it, so let me send it over. So I forwarded it over, and first she was just obviously like how great it is of a thing to do, especially like with one of your really good friends. It's great to create joy for your life, So she's very much an advocate at that. So she was really sort of proud that we were doing this, which was super nice. But then, but in the midst of the conversation, I realized that we've been doing this nearly a year now. Like, I know, because it was October that we launched the first one, right? And October's just beyond the river bend. And it's like, one, it does not feel like that at all. On the other hand, it doesn't feel like it was a couple of weeks ago, but a year? Freaky. Very freaky. But yay us.
Yay us, indeed. I know. I'm a bit taken aback actually by the fact that we've nearly been doing this for a year. Do you know, I came across, so this week I have been trying to, work's been quiet. So I've been trying to do all of the like projecty bits that are on my to-do list.
Okay.
that I never get round to doing. So a lot of it is creating content that I think would be useful. And I am a bit of a hoarder for stuff from previous like jobs and that. I put it in my own personal thing folder, and then I can dip in and out. And I have a folder for the first podcast that we started talking about. Yeah, I was going to say the name, and then I was like, I'm not going to put it out there in case someone steals it. So
yeah, because it
could be like
in some yeah.
It's like when you have a mainstream series and then they have a spin-off.
The spin-off.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I saw that. I didn't open it because I thought that's just another kind of whirlwind. I don't need to, and I actually need to focus on this stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, boop, I'll put a pin in that. I'll come back to it at some point.
Oh my
but we
gosh.
put a lot of effort into
we did.
All of that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's quite funny to think about some of the things we were talking about, like in terms of like marketing strategies and brand colors. And I'm just like, hold on, but maybe we should just record an episode. How about we start there?
Yeah. Well, we kind of did, didn't we?
Quickly. We did. Yeah, we did.
That one from your iPhone.
Which the sound was pretty great.
I know.
To be honest, it was.
Yeah, just sitting around in your front room, chatting shit. And I can definitely pinpoint, I remember where I was sitting actually. But listening to it, I was just like, yeah, you've got a loud voice. You've got a big mouth over there. Literally throwing your voice across the room to be heard on this tiny little phone. Anyway, digress. So before we really, we've been chatting for a little while already, but before we really dive into the pod today, I'm going to tell you to do all of the things. So, hang on a minute. What was that acronym that you put together? Self. That was it.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Yeah. Engage. Like.
There we go.
And follow or forward.
We're
always happy to have more people on the journey. And so if you have a friend that you think, do you know what? They've got lots of stuff going on in their life. They could do with a little jokey, a little joy. Send them the links. Send
Mm-hmm.
them the links to the podcast. If you think that's too much, send them the links to the shorts, because I think, I mean,
Yeah.
I love us, but I do actually laugh quite a lot at the shorts.
Yes. Send it to your friend that you're like, oh my God, this is so us as well, because
yeah.
we know you're out there. Part
Yes,
of the tribe.
more. Yes, exactly. So today we're just going in on a random one, I think. We do always have a plan. Whether or not we stick to that plan, most of the time we don't.
Because life, right?
I
Life is
know.
just a surfing suggestion, as I like to say. You know what I mean? You have an idea, but does it ever go according to plan all the time?
Mm-mm.
Nah, gotta stay loose.
Stay loose, indeed. One thing that I was obviously looking back and trying to plan for future episodes, I did have a little look at one of our deep dives around core values.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's coming up. So I did start thinking about it. It's a toughie. So and I don't mean tough as in
No, just tough, yeah.
it's tough to pinpoint what really drives you in life, like to put words to it, because I think that we kind of have an essence about it. We kind of understand what's important to us, but to
Yeah.
drill it down to one word, that was a tough one for me. So
Yeah.
I had like word/word/words because
Okay.
I thought that these kind of all fit together in a little package and a bow and stuff. So
Yeah.
just putting it out there for when we're ready to
The
hit
next
that
one.
one. Yeah. So I feel like let's keep this light and loose.
Cool. Thank
And
you.
let's very welcome. Very welcome.
Because your girl is she's hanging.
Hanging by a thread.
Oh,
Let's dig into
okay.
not guilty pleasure, but absolute guilty pleasure.
We don't do guilty pleasures. No guilt, just pleasure. Own it. You're having a great time.
I
I
am.
will
I
coming from me as well, who hates this kind of stuff typically. I'm just gonna, jump in with like 2 feet and not even hold my nose and say I'm having a great time with
oh
Love is Blind, to the point that I have definitely watched more episodes than I was supposed to.
mm,
But
yes, you
no problem
did.
rewatching if necessary.
Good. You will need to anyway, because we want to. I think
Yeah.
that 2 episodes are a nice amount to digest and then have a chat about. One's
Yeah.
not enough. One's not enough. It doesn't give you enough information.
Mm.
Two, I reckon, I mean, obviously, I've only watched the first two
Yeah.
as agreed, but
Just slip that in there. I have no
um,
self-control, people. I have no self-control. And this is why I'm the enabler. Just like, yeah, spend all your money because life is short. You could die tomorrow. And
I
then,
know.
tomorrow your fridge is empty and starving. But those trainers are fabulous though.
Joker. I don't know what prompted me to ask if you had watched more than the 2 episodes.
Because you
There
know
was
me.
just like a feeling, and I was like,
Your
Also,
no
because
antenna was
I
going.
got, I got to the end of the second, and I was like, I don't think she stopped here.
My defense, right? In my defense, when that second episode finished, I was at the top of a ladder and my phone was like a little way across the room. I couldn't like get down to go and press stop or pause or whatever. I was just like mid paint stroke. So,
So you're
you
not
know,
actually really watching it. You're kind of like more
no,
listening.
yeah. Okay. All right. So there were a few spaces on the wall where I did have to go back over because I clearly missed a patch or two. So that's probably where I'd looked over to see like what the hell Sam was talking about. But yeah. Probably more listening. But oh man, I was fully in there. I was fully involved. I
There
don't
were a
know.
moment. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know why this one has kind of gripped me the way that it has, because typically as I said, I watched the first Love is Blind. Um,
Is
and
that the
that was like
American one?
the American one.
The
Yeah.
first ever, yeah.
Is this the
This is
first British
UK.
one?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe it
Okay.
is. Maybe it is because maybe I'm getting confused
Mm,
with Married at First Sight, because I know that they have definitely done a UK.
yeah. Married at First Sight. Yeah, different. And I've watched a couple of those. But yeah, with the Love is Blind, I've watched the first ever one, which was the American one. The one where, what was the... Did you watch the first one? You
Mm-hmm.
did, yeah. I can't remember who won it again, what their names were. Oh,
Was it even a win? Just people who actually got married?
oh,
Because there
that's
was
a
the
point,
interracial.
actually.
There's the interracial couple,
I think I
who are
said
still
win because
together.
they're still together. Yeah, I think that's why I
Yeah.
said one. Shame. That's so funny. Well, anyway, yeah, that one. And that was, for some reason, that was such an emotional roller coaster. Like, so much happened in the episode, and just in the episode, in that series. And kind of like going along that journey where at the beginning you're really rooting for people, and then as you learn more about them, you're just like, okay, you're crazy and you're trash and you're not ready and you need therapy. All of
Mm.
these things, like it was so much. And by the end of it, I really felt tired. I was just like, I I'm gonna like leave TV alone for a while, because that was a lot. I enjoyed it. I really did. But when the next series came, which felt quite soon after, it probably wasn't. I've just not been able to get back into it since, because I feel like I know the emotional investment that's required, or what
Mm.
it took for me the last time. I'm just like, I don't have it in me. So I've just kind of let them go. But it could be because it's like home turf. I'm used to the accents. But yeah, something about this one has really got me, and having a ball.
Mm. Do you
Having
know?
a ball.
So I haven't paid too much attention to people's ages, but I seem to remember there's a few people who are like late 20s to 30s, and then kind of towards the upper end of 30, but not quite 40. I don't think I've seen anyone who's like that kind of, I was like that old, not old
No.
at that age.
I think the oldest person might be 38.
Mm.
I think, I can't remember what his name is. I'm going to bring everyone's face up in a minute so I can refer to people by name.
I think Tom is that around that age.
That sounds familiar.
So these are the people that I know or have come across so far, right?
Okay.
Ollie,
Mm-hmm.
Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Demi,
Yes.
Jasmine, Bobby, Sam, Nicole, Benaya, Stephen,
Yeah.
Sabrina, and Tom, Maria, and Natasha. I think those are the main ones from the first two episodes. There have
Okay.
been like chats in the living quarters with other people, but these are the main ones who are picked up in terms of having dates and so
Yeah.
far having gone on a bit of a journey.
Yeah. Okay, so my immediate ick is Sam. He some of some of the dates that he's been on, it feels like he's answering questions from like oh my god, what was that program called? Blind Date. It's just it's like you can almost hear the crowd in the background go, woo. It's just he is not for real. He's not for real. Like, it's almost like he's trying to convince the person that he's talking to that he's the guy. And it almost feels like anyone will do, you know? But more than that, I feel like he's very, very insecure. And I feel like he needs to work on himself way more before he can actually date properly. Not to say that just because you're insecure, you can't date, but I just feel like he is just looking for validation. I don't think he actually wants a relationship. I just feel like he wants to feel worthy, full stop. Which does make me feel a little bit sad because, you know, I could recognize these feelings. But there's another element to him it's just icky. It's just not, it doesn't feel genuine. I think that's what it is. I could just feel the inauthenticity, if that's a word. Sounds right.
Yeah. It's usable.
What about you? Do you have an
I completely
immediate
agree
ick?
with you. It's him.
Okay.
Absolutely him. I literally put in my on my notes, I put nah giving ick. Those are my comments.
That's the official comment. Nah, it's giving ick. Okay.
Hang on. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
It's blurry. Nah giving ick.
Yeah.
I had to do like a little connect the dots thing of who's doing what. Yeah, for all of the reasons that you gave, because he absolutely sounds as though he is just reeling off a spiel of information that he thinks women want to hear. And who was it? Was it Jasmine? Jasmine completely called it out. Like she was
straight
just
away.
Like, I'm not getting the sense that these are real answers. Whereas poor Nicole, like she just seems so open and is like, oh, you sound so genuine. I'm like, bullshit.
There's been, and you will get there, but there's been many times I've just wanted to like shake Nicole. Like, what? So, I have to hold my tongue because I know it's definitely past episode 1 and 2. But yeah, like, bless her. She seems very, very lovely. But it's just like, no, babes.
I know.
Like,
and considering that she's been married before and she's concerned about who she wants to get with, like, I don't know. Sam, do you know, I feel like I'm also a little bit biased because I can see him. He reminds me of,
oh my God.
Like, well, first of all, I'm getting like Maiden Chelsea, Towie vibes of just like all up in the club, bullshit.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, snogging this girl, but making eyes at this one, just not really knowing what he wants. But he's giving such puppy energy that it's like, calm down and really have a good think about things.
He's what it is. He's like excited to be there. I feel like he's excited by the prospect of becoming famous off of this in some way. I feel like he can already see like the Gymshark brand deals. I just don't feel like he's there for anyone but himself.
No. And that is kind of that's where episode 2 kind of ended, was that whole conversation about his reasons for being there. At least Benaya was kind of conveying that information to
who?
Nicole.
Oh, okay, that was episode 2. Okay, cool. What do you think?
For checking in.
But yeah. What do you think of Benaya?
What do I think of Benaya? I feel like he isn't putting in any effort, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I feel like, well, from what I've seen so far, I just feel like he's a bit meh.
Okay. You know? Kind of just like glow energy. It's like, I'm here.
Yeah. Just like, you know, we're just having conversations as opposed to No. You're having conversations to establish if you want to get engaged to someone and therefore be married. You're not just going on dates. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to be chatting to these people forever. So you have to really start thinking about what is my commitment level, which is what other people are doing. They're thinking about, how much do I actually like this person that I'm talking to? And am I considering whether or not this is something I want to invest in? And he was just not giving me any kind of energy on that at
Do you
all.
think do you think it's because he's technically homeless? Because when he said that, that shocked me a little bit. It's just like, where do you plan on taking said partner back to? Or
Mm.
are we looking for somewhere to move into? I don't know. It's just, he seemed like cool vibes. He seemed very chill to me, just like very easygoing. But I hear what you're saying about, the whole reason of you being there is to find your person. So maybe compared to everyone else, he wasn't given like hype, hype, hype. He was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna. But I wonder if that's just because he's a bit of a nomad anyway.
And how would that impact how he's coming across?
Just very like go where the wind takes him. Because that's literally what he's doing though for his job, isn't it? I think he's like a landscaper or something, or a house sitter. And
Yeah,
it's like wherever the land needs
workers.
to be escaped, that's where he goes.
Yeah. But I suppose he has been asked that question in regards to like his plans moving forward. Like, where is he? Because he was saying kind of like looking to put down some sort of roots with his partner at least.
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, also, this is just, I've seen a handful of people, and this is just like episode 2. He might have some character development on the way. I don't know. But yeah, he was just giving me flat, really. I just wasn't picking
oh,
up. But that, again, we don't know how much that has been edited in comparison to the other people that have been shown. So
and that's the thing.
you have to take a pinch. But I'm just not feeling Sam. Sam's a big no from me.
He reminds me of someone that I actually know. And it's just like, you just don't know where you are with them, or you just don't know who they really are, because the
Mm.
front is very, very obvious. And it's just like either they refuse to show anything further or there is nothing further.
I guess that's his problem, though, isn't it? That is what he has been saying, is that he's not getting relationships because people don't believe he is who
Mm,
he says he is. And if he is who he says he is, he needs to change the tone, because the
yeah.
way he's delivering the message, a lot of people are picking up fake.
Yeah.
And if, like, you can't help, if lots of people are giving you the same feedback, there has to be
Yeah. The common denominator.
a
Yeah.
string of truth in that. Now, it's not being able to pinpoint what it is about someone who makes them come across that way. That's a really tricky thing. Like, because you don't want to say you are fake. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily him as a
That's true.
person. It's just the way that he's behaving, the words that he's saying, or the delivery of his words is leaving the impression that it's all bullshit. And
Mm,
that's not a good place to be in.
yeah. Yeah. I feel like he needs to go on a bit of a self-love journey, that one. Bless him. Just so he's more
Yeah.
comfortable. Because it's just giving, like, I'm just gonna say what I feel you need to hear. So you will love me.
Yeah.
Just like any means necessary is what it's giving.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just so shocked when he was like sad he'd been rebuffed by Jasmine, like coming in, dropping his wine, like throwing a bit of a tantrum, to be honest. I was like, grow up. But
literally.
throwing a bit of a tantrum, coming in, are you all right, mate? No, not all right. Rolling around on the floor like a 5-year-old. And then in the next breath being like, but you know what? Actually, there's a girl who I've like
Yes.
And I'm like, no. You thought that was Jasmine. And now that Jasmine said, no, thank you, mate, you're trying to pin it on someone else. I don't like that.
He's like, well, it's made it clear to me now that I think Nicole, it's just like, no, she's just the only other person that you're talking to. It's not made anything clear to you at all.
No, at all. It's just kind of like taken an option away. Whereas other people have said, you know, I felt this connection with someone and I'm going to lean into that.
Yeah.
And it is difficult. I mean, if you did have two front runners and you're just like, oh, who do I choose? That's so awkward as well when they're in the other side of things chatting about how much they like you.
But that part you wouldn't really be privy to. Like, you wouldn't hear it anyway.
No, but you know it's happening because you're doing the same.
Yeah, it's true.
Everyone, then you come back. How did it go, girl? Oh, we had a great day. Oh, I really like him. And then Sarah over there is just like, but he's my man. Oh.
Would you do that? So, like, if you were, let's just say, in the Twilight Zone, you went onto this show, right? And you sort of built a really strong connection with somebody. Would you go back into like the ladies' living quarters and let it be known who that person is? Yeah, because a lot of them are just like, oh yeah, this guy, this and this guy. I'm just like, everyone's dating that same guy though, babes. Like,
everyone's dating the same guy. Yeah.
But then at the same time, those people that do share tend to, you know, they might get a bit of information where they find out that, oh, actually, that person's not being sincere with them.
Yeah, but you can talk about stuff without giving names. Unless they're privy to who they're going on dates with. Like, oh, Amy's going on a date with Ollie today or whatever. I don't know how it works in the background, but if I came in and I'd had a really interesting, deep conversation with someone and they'd revealed information about themselves, I'm not going to be giving those people that information. All I'm going to be revealing is how I feel about the general kind of connection we might have. But I don't think I would actually tell people what their names were. I think I'd keep that to myself. And not in a like, I don't want to tell anyone anything in case they take them away from me. Just because I think I'd want to just safeguard that information for myself. Like, I'm trying to find my husband.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, you don't know what it's like until you're there.
I mean, I will never know. But yeah, it's a tricky one because obviously there have been people that have played it. I can't talk. Sorry. That have played it very close to their chest where they're not giving the names of anybody. I mean, I don't think anyone divulges the like the details of conversations. I don't think anyone's done that, but they are absolutely sharing like how they felt the date when, how the connection is growing, whether they really, really like that person or not. And I think that is enough. So it's just like, imagine you've had this date with Ollie, let's just say, since you mentioned his name, and you come back and then, I don't know, a couple hours later, Sarah comes back in saying like, Ollie's the greatest thing and da-da-da-da-da, like, then what? It's just orcs, major orcs.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. I don't think I'd be giving any names, but my ears would be like wide open.
Multitasking Amy would come to the fore. Yeah. I'd be like chatting over here, cooking something over here, listen to that conversation. Oh, yeah. Ollie's name's come up. Oh, yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Do you think that like that they're actually really serious about wanting to get married? Because for me, some of them I feel like some of them are so young. I don't know. I could be being biased, but for me, some of them I just feel like they clearly seem to be in the like going out and living their best life era that I don't know if they really legit do want to find someone to marry.
I think that's the problem with these kind of shows is the marriage part, because I feel as though I feel as though you really have to know someone and understand that who they are as a person and who you are as a person with them
Yeah.
through certain things to truly understand whether or not you want to be be married to each
Yeah.
other. And these kind of shows just kind of speed
Mm.
to that end point, as opposed to, rather than getting married, just be in a committed relationship with
Mm-hmm.
someone. But I guess that's not going to make great TV, is it? If it's just like, actually,
True.
we're going to take you on this experiment where you are going to make deep connections with people. And at the end of it, you can decide whether or not you want to be in a relationship. Oh, you know what? Actually, there is that show. Have you ever seen Temptation Island?
No, that's giving me like, that's too close to Love Island and too hot to handle. That shit pisses me off because everyone in there is like 18. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
But with those ones, I mean, the people who come in are already in relationships. So it's a bit of a spin. Um,
Uh,
but at the
oh,
end
I'm
of
just
it,
like, they cannot be happy in the relationship.
well, it's
Like,
always a case of one person. It's just like, oh, what was that other program that we watched
yeah,
recently?
the
The
ultimatum.
Ultimatum. Yeah, that's it. There
Okay,
you go.
fair.
So there's always one party of the
Okay.
relationship that wants to make a some sort of a commitment of some description. So it kind of pushes the other person into the
Mm,
situation. But at the end of those kind of shows, they're not the ones getting married. They're like, I'm making a decision to make a commitment with you, make a commitment to someone else, or I'm going home on my own because actually
yeah.
I've realized through this that it's just not working. I feel like this show needs that for it to be really credible and authentic, but I don't think they'd get as many views if it was really about
Mm.
finding love, as opposed to, let's put all of these single people who are horny as hell together
Yeah.
and get them talking about things that they think are really, really important to them, but actually they just can't wait until they get to see
Yeah.
each other, spend 4 weeks together, sharing a house, sharing a bed, and then let's see if they stay together.
Yeah.
It's it just
I'm
definitely given authenticity to me, really. But it
the
ain't
whole
gonna stop me from
thing.
watching. Yeah.
Uh did you see anybody get engaged?
Yes, I saw two people.
Okay, that was to be Stephen
Yes, and Sabrina.
and Sabrina. I love them together. I feel like they
Yeah.
look really good together. Obviously looks on everything, but the aesthetic, not the aesthetic, aesthetics. Oh God. That's not the word that I wanted. They look good together, y'all.
They are
They
cute. And
seem really sweet, but well, no buts. They seem really sweet together.
yeah.
I was like grinning my face off when, like, they got engaged. I do find myself, though, I found myself cringing multiple times throughout this, like the I love yous. It's like very sweet, yeah, but it's also you've never seen this person. It just, I don't know. It just does
But
not
that is the point.
feel
That is the point. Love
feel like
is
I
blind.
know.
That
I
is the
know.
point.
And you did mention editing before, and I think I might have seen something a while back about like the behind the scenes of the process. So it's not a case that, these people are in a room for like half an hour with each other. They are spending hours together. And I feel like when you do have that amount of concentrated time, you can absolutely learn a shit ton of, a shit
Mm,
ton about somebody. And so I don't deny that people really feel the connections that they do. But I guess kind of seeing it like, develop within 10 minutes. And then we've got to the I love yous. It's just a bit, ooh,
yeah, it feels.
as it
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's just a
That
bit.
nothing.
Yeah.
But there were times when I was watching it and I was like, you know me, I start to get a bit hot when I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah,
So there
yeah.
were moments where I was just like, pause. Mm,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch this.
I
And
I
then,
did that. I'm trying to
no,
think when I
just
did that though, because I
on and
had to press
off.
pause and walk away. Like I have to just remove. That's my coping mechanism kicking in. I have to just remove myself from the room because it's just like I can feel the ick and the uncomfortableness. Like I need to walk it off. And then like once I've gathered myself, then I can come back and, you know, get in. But yeah, there's been some times when it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think for me, Sam is a trigger for that. So
Yeah.
whenever he is like talking about stuff,
He's the
I
person that
really have
I
to power
spoke
through.
most to through the screen. The most. Like, it's so funny that you said, does anyone give you the ick? I think he's actually the only one. The
Yeah,
only one. Oh my word. I can't wait for you to see like the next two now so you can see how this, how it develops.
I know. I know. Oh, who
Do you have a favorite?
else?
Did we talk about a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
No, I don't know if I. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Jasmine is probably one of my favorite girls.
Is it because she was just like, she could see through the shit immediately?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was not fussed about saying anything about it. Like just obviously
Yeah.
I was watching her face when she's like listening and she's just like, yeah.
Yeah. She
Okay.
made me
Like,
oop so many times. Like when she just came straight out with to Sam, just like, I just don't, it's just not authentic. I was just like, oh, she really
yeah.
said that. I guess it helped that there's a wall there, you know, but still, it's a lot to just really put it out exactly as it is. And
And
as you said, she was not afraid to do that.
she asked really good questions, like to just
Yeah, just to make
pinpoint
sure.
certain things. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I liked her. I really liked her. I was surprised about who she chose, but then I didn't see her interact with anyone else really. So I felt like she was a completely different person with the person that she ended up choosing. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that was that. Who else did I quite like Freddie.
He just gives me sweet boy
Mm,
energy. Not
yeah.
like, not sweet boy as in, you know, a gallus or anything, but just a good lad. You know,
Yeah.
he gives good egg energy. That's the
Yeah,
phrase that you
definitely.
use,
Good
right?
egg. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
sweet.
definitely.
Um, yeah, I can't say anything else because I'm just going to go into further episodes.
Yeah, don't say
But
anything
he seems
else.
very sweet. Yeah. What did you think of Ollie?
What do I think of Ollie? I
First of all,
think,
was he giving Craig David to you?
honestly, that was jokes, especially when I think he got up in the morning and they were like, oh, we need a song from you. And then they started
He
singing
started
7 days.
singing.
I was just like, well done. That's the kind of lad banter that I think girls miss out on a little bit, like just
Yeah.
that prod and poke kind of
Yeah.
silliness, but that everyone's game for. Um,
Yeah.
I so
I'm just had
I
a flashback of when you used to rinse me about my Crocs, but yeah.
I know, and then here I am with two pairs of
Two
my
pairs
own.
down.
I know. Who what do I think of Ollie? I think that I have an aversion to him, and not because he's not a good guy. He's just every guy I grew up with at school from like
Yeah.
northwest, west kind of
Honestly.
London. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no,
I've seen
thank
you
you.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, not for
It's,
me.
yeah. Oh, fuck. I can't say much more. It's so annoying. Okay. I will say I'm really interested to see like his journey, because my opinion about him has flip-flopped a couple
Mm,
times.
mm-hmm.
So off the bat, I think I had the same one as you, just like, oh, okay, like I know what kind of dude you are. And then further along, it's just like, oh, actually, maybe there's something else. And
Mm.
then we go, it's like, oh, no, you're that guy. And it's like, oh, no, but there's this. So I have gone back and forth over him. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it actually, how that one plays out. So
I
what have you
guess
seen? Has he chosen anybody yet?
I think he's on the verge. He's
Oh, okay.
definitely had a conversation with his number two and who has taken herself out of the game. But then at the same time, I'm like, did you take yourself out because you knew you were going to get bumped? But anyway,
Yeah.
um, I feel, I feel like with him, he comes across as such a player, right? He really does have a lot of that energy.
Mm.
And maybe the flip flopping is because when he was young, he is young, he's 33.
Day two.
But like, oh no, he has his 33rd birthday in the thing.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So he 20s to early 30s, obviously they're gonna
Yeah.
be out, guns showing, iron apple, all of that energy,
Yeah.
you
It
know?
is given
So
Iron Apple for
isn't
real.
it? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's how he has been. And now he's like, well, but I really want to settle down. So that energy is still floating about in the background whilst he's
Yeah.
trying to figure out how he wants to really be in a relationship. So that's why I'm like, I'm not like, because of all of these reasons. I have to try and put those to a side because they keep popping up. I'm like,
Yeah.
but that's me.
Yeah.
That is me, not him. That's me having flashbacks and
Yeah.
all of that stuff and just being like, yeah,
Yeah.
you've escaped Northwest, Amy. You're good. You're good. Let's move past this.
Yeah.
But I don't even think he's from Northwest, is he? But he's just given London.
He's
That's
he's
London
definitely
vibes.
London. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Where I think he's so far in the episodes that I've watched, he's had conversations with Demi. Demi's an absolute London girl. Like I really like her. I feel like she's
Yeah.
salt of the earth, kind of just, and she speaks about being friend zoned because she's one of the lads.
Yeah.
But I reckon she would be such a friggin' hoot, like just
Yeah.
being out. And I can see how she would be get. That's not even English. How she would get
But I'm
friends.
just like, makes sense, makes sense.
That's our English. So I can see them. I can see them together, but then I'm like, oh, if he chooses her, because at this point in time he hasn't actually chosen her, but if he chooses her and then they get out into the world, is he really going to be her guy like
Yeah.
she needs him to be?
Yeah.
And he's talking a good game,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
are those Gallus vibes going to be popping in their head, little rearing their head
Hmm.
again, just being like, yeah, let's get
Yeah.
out to the Greek islands, mate. Let's get out there. Way.
Yeah. And Demi has those vibes where you just want her, it's like protect Demi at all costs. Like she's not to
Mm,
be messed with. She's like too good of a person, like either be here properly or don't. Like I don't want
yeah.
any messing around with our girl. She's very sweet.
I would definitely give him the look, if
Yeah.
he would get it. He would absolutely get it.
Oh, yeah, for real.
It has been a good time though. I mean, the first episode, I was like slowly getting into it. And then the Stephen Sabrina, which is the first kind of engagement. I'm just giving out all of the spoilers, guys, because you should have watched this by now.
Yeah, we'll do a warning at the beginning.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, is
yeah.
that why you're not saying any names? Like, yeah, we'll have to put a a warning in. Spoiler alert.
Otherwise, it's just like, how can you really have a conversation?
And also, this has been out for a good while now, so
if you're going to watch it, you'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I think the Stephen and Sabrina cliffhanger at the ending of the first episode really had me, because absolutely giving out spoilers now. It proposes and she's like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy." And I was like, "Ah!" Oh, and then it ended. I was like, "What?" So I had to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then all was good in the hood, but still great way to end an episode, because it's just cliffhangers are the way forward. That's how they hook you in.
It is. That was a very good one.
You
There's
can't
ones that
not
make you
watch the
like
next one.
say what to the TV, because I was exactly the same way, just like, next episode, next
Yeah.
episode. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for making me watch.
I
You didn't have to twist my arm at all.
No, I did not. Especially because I was like, is anyone going to be watching this?
I
And
absolutely was not going to. I was not going to. I just can't. I don't have the strength
but
to
then
do
you
it.
were the one who suggested watching it for this. So, and then I was just like,
Yeah.
ooh, okay, content purposes only. But yeah.
We
It's a
will
good
not
time.
have fun. We will just watch. I'm having a blast.
I know. I have such I'm constantly grinning teeth when I'm watching it, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
And also, I love. It's just so cute. But there are so many cringe. Oh, when Bobby did his rap, I was like, no, thank you. No. And she's all gushing. If anyone trying to rap to me.
That might have been one of the times that I left.
Oh, no.
I just like, you just kind of wince a little bit. Like your shoulders come up to your eardrums, just like, no.
You want to get into a fetal position, as small as possible, because everything is tingling and uncomfortable.
Yeah. If anyone rapped, I just please don't. You can write that down. Like, I love a poem. I appreciate that, but don't rap to me. Where do I look? Do we maintain eye contact the whole time? That's odd. I can't look up because that's rude. Just don't do it. Don't put us in that position.
Well, at least in this, they're in isolated pods. So actually, it just feels like you're saying it out loud to yourself. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I haven't spoken about Tom, Maria, and Natasha. Can't even remember who Natasha is now.
All right, let me see.
Maria is her family comes from Morocco, and
I really like her. She looks old. I thought she was older than she is. She doesn't look old, but she gives me, I think it could just be her whole demeanor. She gives me older vibes. So she's 30. Tom, yeah, where's his face? I think I know who Tom is. They're dating, right?
Yeah.
And who was the other one that you said? Tom,
Natasha.
Maria, and... The hell is Natasha?
I can't remember. And I only watched this yesterday,
She was talking to... I think she's talking to Tom. Isn't she?
Yeah, Natasha is talking to Tom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the three of them are in a little... It's not quite a tryst, but it's the three of them.
Yeah.
Maria, Natasha, and Tom. Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember too much about Natasha. That's all I got. I don't remember much about her at all.
I'm trying to find her. Maria. Oh, I just think she's so cute. Oh, yeah. Natasha's the one who was... She has lost a lot of weight recently.
I was going to say, that's the only thing that I can remember about her.
And now she's like, the way that men approach her is very different to how it was before, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think that it helps when you're you were a mousy brown before, and now you're bleaching your hair blonde and doing the most with your makeup and stuff. Like, what more do you expect from someone who's going to be? But I do feel like they get on quite well on a more serious level, whereas I find Tom and Maria just to be super cute. Like, he made this comment about, I can't wait for you to, so I can't wait until I can watch you sleeping. And then they were like
Oh
joking
yeah.
about the fact that he would just be like
Yeah.
over the top of her.
Yeah.
And I thought
They've
that
got
was
good
really
banter.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny. It makes me uncomfortable when the couples start talking about sexual things, because I'm just like, I mean, obviously you want to have that kind of attraction towards someone,
Yeah.
but
It's definitely
if
part of
you're,
the package, the chemistry package.
yeah, I just feel like it's awkward when you're basically having like phone sex in the pods.
Yeah, because it's just like I feel like that. Not that that's all there is, but I do worry that they will just fizzle very quickly.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Because if that's all your relationship is based on, like looking forward to having that kind of kinky chat behind, you don't really find anything out about the other person.
Mm,
But again, if they're in there
that's
for
true.
hours, maybe they have spoken about really deep and meaningful things at
Yeah.
some point, and then they're just like, do you like a foot rub? Mm.
And editing counts for a lot. It really does. Remember back in the day where people just like blame stuff on editing, but the way that things get sliced and diced, it's crazy. Like they
Yeah,
can really paint a whole narrative about someone just by the things that they show. So it is good to kind of, I guess, keep that to the back of your mind. Not to
yeah.
the back. Just
That might be
keep it in
happening to
mind.
our dear old Sam the Ick.
And that did cross my mind, but I don't know. I don't know. When you watch the next two, I think they show a clip of what's to come. And a comment that he's made tells me no that he's absolutely just a dick. So I don't
You
think the
make
editing.
so many
Yeah.
uncouth comments already.
Yeah. He's just not serious. And it's just like, fine, if you just want to be out here for a good time, fine, but just be
Don't be
real about
wasting
it.
other people's time. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's
That's
what's
what
jarring.
irritates me the most is like, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of these, I can't speak for the men because I've never been one. But female perspective, I feel like these women are really genuinely out here trying to find
Yeah.
someone. And it's just irritating when there are guys out there who say they are and then just are out here to get laid. It's frustrating.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like there's plenty of women that want the same things. Like you don't have to lie. Do you know what I mean? Just like keep it real from the beginning. Everyone will be happier.
Yeah. And also, there's plenty of women out there who aren't looking for the same thing that you're looking for, but will say that they are just to get there. We have a thing, guys, where we do like to pretend to be one thing, but really we're another. And then we hope you're going to move from that space to this space, but we're really just deluding ourselves. But there are women like that out there. So if you're honest, you will get something regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh God. All right. Well, that's episodes 1 and 2. When do you think you're gonna okay. We can talk about the logistics of you watching the next two and then we'll cover those. But yeah,
Yeah.
have fun, man.
Oh my God. Are you going to rewatch them or are you going to watch episode 5 and 6?
I will when we're going to talk about the next two, I'll rewatch them
Okay.
for sure. Just so I can again, I just don't want to like overstate what's happened.
Yeah.
Because you're being
Okay.
very good and watching
Sticking
as
to my.
scheduled. You are,
Mm-hmm.
you are, it's admirable. I just
I did. Well, this time round, I didn't have the time to completely devour all of them. I'm sure if I did, I probably would have continued watching them. But I was like, no, I've got all of these other things I need to do. So let me just stick to these. But, and also, I'm very conscious. I will see you before we record the next episode. And so what I'm not going to do is watch them before I see you.
Fair.
I'll wait, because otherwise we'll have all of this chat off camera.
And then we'll just be sitting here like,
Have you seen anything ridiculous online recently?
I mean,
that you think, this is kind of like, I want to share this random thing that I found?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got something.
All right. Hit me.
Go for it. Okay, so there's this guy online who has basically posed a question to the internet. And the question is, are me and my fiance wrong for charging our wedding guests $450 to attend? So his argument is that weddings are expensive. He's just like, we've paid for like the venue and the dresses cost. Basically, he's just listed wedding costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he feels like, you will spend, $450 to go to a concert or, to go, he said Beyonce, but, whatever. He's like, you'll spend that money, on a variety of things. And he doesn't see the problem with spending that money to support your friend. So I guess my question to you is, fair or he's crazy?
He's not crazy because weddings are expensive. I get it. I completely get it. I think, is that £450 including accommodation and travel and stuff like that? Because if it is including accommodation and travel for the time that you're going to be there, then I guess, you're going to be spending the money on that anyway in terms of attending. But if it's not including those things and you want me to pay $450 and pay for me to get to your wedding and pay for accommodation for staying overnight, because obviously it's going to go into the evening and maybe I don't live close, who knows where it is.
Yeah.
And I might have to pay extra for drinks, then you are out of your damn mind.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be paying out all of that money, elope. Go somewhere, find some random people on the beach to be your witnesses, and send me a link so I can watch it from a stream, because there is no need. No need.
Yeah, crazy. He didn't say that. He didn't say what this 450 is to cover. It literally just says to attend. This is the thing. So I don't think you're getting anything for that. I feel like that money is probably going to be used to cover like wedding costs. Because obviously, there's certain things you can pay for over time, right? It's like not everything is completely paid off on the actual day. I really feel like that entry fee is to cover a lot of the costs. I feel the whole thing is completely out of order. Like if you can't afford to have that type of wedding, don't have that type of wedding. Like, I'm going to support you how best I'm able to. I'm able to support you $450 deep. I'm sorry. Like, no.
I can't support myself $450 deep.
Listen, I'm not doing it. And this is also per person. So me, myself, and 2 children, just under 1,500 to attend? No, I'm sorry. Them kids don't eat nothing there anyway. They're just running around like popping balloons. No, I'm sorry. That is insane to me. If you can't afford it, then don't do it. A lot of people get so wrapped up in this one day. It's also not even a full day. You've got like a crisp 8 hours, maybe, and then that's it. Then you've got the rest of your lives together. Calm down and elope, or go to the town hall, or save your ducats. I feel like you're asking too much. That's crazy.
Hold your wedding in your back garden. Like, lots of people do it. So, no. I mean, if it was like I said at the beginning, if it was taking into account like me staying there and all of that business, then you've kind of done all of that stuff. Yeah, but I mean, listen, hen do's, stag do's. You will spend about 600, 700 pounds around someone's wedding, including the hen do's and bits. And that's not including gift. It's very easily done.
My presence is the gift. Like, I've already poured into this.
I do know a lot of weddings that I've been to recently, they don't even ask for wedding gifts. Like they might say, if you do want to give us something, then we'd really appreciate a contribution towards our honeymoon costs. And then there's like a GoFundMe thing. But you are spending money. Maybe I need to convince the other half that we're getting married. Just so I can get my fair share of all of this stuff
that you've been putting. Some of the comments were so funny. Someone said, "Your wedding, your rules, my money, my rules. Have fun." Oh, I didn't say at the beginning, actually. So at the time that he made this video, they'd already spent $200,000. Yeah. So I don't know what this wedding entails, why you've spent 200,000 and you're still needing people to put no.
I guess they didn't actually clarify either how many guests they're hoping to be there.
200,000, and that's not enough.
Could you imagine though if they spent 200,000 and actually by charging 450 to everyone they get that money back?
So basically you're just like robbing your friends. You're not my friend. So you're calling me out for being a bad friend because I won't spend that money, but yet you're fully prepared to mug me off. No.
No.
Basically, like no one accepted the offer. When that message got sent out, the invite got sent out with the whole 450 request, every single person declined. So that's what he's really pissed at. But I mean, I've just never heard of such a thing. I've just never heard of a cover charge to go to someone's wedding.
Attend to a wedding. No. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean,
what is this? I want to really know what's happening at this wedding that costs so much that you still can't afford. Like, the fireworks show must be off the chain. Maybe, do you remember when we had that conversation years ago about being brought up the aisle with a string of doves? That's probably what they've got here. They've trained some doves to just
she's got Heelys on glide. And then she's just being brought down the aisle by these doves.
Oh my God. It's I know they're expensive. Literally, if you even whisper the word wedding in the air, they're jacking up the price 50%.
Yeah.
I'm going to a wedding in a couple of weeks where the two getting married have said, come to our joint birthday party, because they're refusing to tell the venue that it's for a wedding because it's just ridiculous. Same amount of people, there'll be a cake there too, but just because it's got wedding tacked onto it, triple the price. It's insane.
That is so clever.
Right?
Joint birthday, joint birthday. And one of you's rocking up in a white dress.
Fancy dress.
Themes giving wedding. Oh my God. Yeah, no, they are ridiculously expensive. And not just for the people who are actually having them, everyone around them is, because you're having outfits, accommodation, all of the jazz. It's just, it's an expensive industry.
It's crazy. And for only like 50% of said marriages to make it, it's just...
That's because they're stressed about paying back for the wedding. Because it's so expensive. They're arguing about who said that we were going to have this. You did. You signed up for it.
Literally. And it's wild that so many marriages start off with that wedding debt as well. It's just like, it's not the way to go, man.
No. I mean, look, if you really want to have that big wedding, then plan for it. Like, actually sit down, make all your decisions, go through, set a budget and stick to those budgets. Because otherwise you are going to be going into it or coming out of that big day and the high's like, oh my God, we're married now. But then you get an invoice the following week and an invoice the week after that and an invoice the week after that. So this one day you are still paying for up to a year later. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I definitely know someone who ended up filing for divorce whilst still paying off the wedding. Like, nuts. Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, I went, one of my friends is getting married and I went dress fitting with them. And I have only been to 2 of these like wedding dress fittings. And I would say, I mean, like, I do cry, but and I am a hopeless romantic, but I'm not like, I don't cry at everything that's cute. But seeing a friend put on not just the wedding dress, I think it's the veil. When the veil goes on and it's
what is it about the veil?
Because then they go from wearing a pretty dress to becoming a bride. That's what happens.
Yeah, there's
and
something
then all
with
of a
that
sudden,
veil for real. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. The second that veil goes on, it's just next level.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing your friends do that is just
crazy. Like, silly. It's really silly. But even then, like, just the price of dresses, I cannot get over it. I cannot get over it. And I get there's some out there that are like actually hand stitched and they've got all of these beautiful adornment pieces on it, whether it's like hand painted something or the lace or the tiny little diamante things in them, like,
sort of 9 hours.
And the weight of them or the lightness or the bone kind of structure thing that holds everything in.
Because do you know what? There's a lot of mechanics that go into it, but it's not just any old dress. You're so like that boning, as you said, and the structuring of it. And it's funny to think that like back in the day, that type of thought was actually put into just regular clothes.
Day to day,
yeah.
But we're now like throwing on any old clean t-shirt and jogging bottoms and just being like, this
no shape. Yeah, just a square with 3 holes in it for your arms and your neck. That's it. But you're right, that is where the money goes. It's crazy expensive. I wish, I don't know if I will ever be okay with spending like $3,000 on a dress for a day.
I absolutely would not. I
don't think I'd be able to.
I'm so, we've had this conversation before where I've said I'm cheap. I am so cheap. I could not. I was having this conversation with you earlier about like trainers, like just not being able to justify, because I don't need them. I have so many. I just don't have them in this color. But do you know what I mean? Like I just can't, I cannot justify. I think it was like £40, 40.
That's
to
crazy.
Spend $3,000 on a dress that I'm only going to be wearing for like 6 hours, really, because I'm going to be putting it on about half an hour before I leave to go to the venue. And then I'm absolutely going to need a change of clothing in order to get on the dance floor, because I'm slut dropping all over that dance floor. There is no chance I'm just like two-stepping it for the whole night. It's my wedding day. I'm going to shake out.
Yeah. So, and that's what I don't get either. Like, you spend all of that money on a dress only to have a change of outfit later. You would have to peel. You'd see me the next day. Tomorrow's, the next day's breakfast. Yeah, I am in that. That's insane.
Rock up to work on the Monday and just be like, hi guys, I am getting my money's worth. Oh my God.
Crazy. I've been on ASOS a time or two, and obviously they've got like wedding dresses on them. I'm just like, that doesn't look too bad.
No.
That looks very cute. Put a veil on there. It's a whole new dress.
Temu will be sending mine. I'll be rocking up in a Temu wedding dress.
Okay, no, you're not doing no fucking Temu.
You won't know until like everyone's like, oh, you're just
no,
so
until we
like,
yes, hear it. No, we'll like hear it coming down the aisle.
Like, don't mind that. Don't mind that.
Fire. No.
Turn the music up louder. The dress is shouting.
No. Oh my God, that's funny. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Someone sparks up to have a cigarette. I'm like, no, turn that out. No candles anywhere.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Yeah, for real. Jokes.
I'm literally picturing the dress going up and I'm like,
I can just hear, like what shell suits used to sound like back in the day. That's what I can hear, just like rustling down the runway, the aisle. Oh my God.
It's like that old, do you remember that old toilet paper from schools? The tracing paper.
Tracing paper.
Yeah.
Yo, they really used to try and have us wiping ourselves with tracing paper.
Not try to have us. They did.
They did.
It literally
was. There was like zero absorbency to that stuff either. Do you know what? It was, yo. Yo. Wow. Sorry, I've just had a horrible flashback because that stuff is painful. If you didn't come in with your own tissues, it was a wrap. All right, let me just...
Listen, that's where I learned how to drop and
drip dry.
Shimmy that. Yeah. She's like, I am the last drop.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyway, that is a perfect place for us on our random.
I think
so. We've gone all over the place on this chat today. So let's do the listeners a favor and wrap it up right here. If you have made it to this point, well done, you all get gold stars, because I think it's going to be a hoot when we listen back to it. But right now, I feel a little bit sorry for everyone who's had to go through that.
You reckon it's like another marathon episode?
Oh my God.
Electrolytes and foil blankets.
Yeah. So I'm going to repeat what I said at the very beginning about doing all of the things. Remember self. Subscribe if you haven't already. So by subscribing, you will get a little notification when another episode drops. It means you don't miss out on all of this fun. So make sure that you do that. Engage with us where you feel comfortable. So generally we will have a deep dive. This week we haven't. We've just gone ham on Love is Blind UK. So if you've watched a few of those episodes, only the first two, please don't be giving any more spoilers away because I haven't seen any others. Then let us know your thoughts on, okay, who is your biggest ick so far out of those two? Mm-hmm. And who are your favorites? Actually, do you know who we didn't say? We didn't say we had an ick for a girl yet. I don't really think I have an ick for a girl. I'm not going to force one.
Yeah. I think the girls were kind of coming. You might get an ick later. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Well, that just makes me want to watch it more. So there you go. So engage with us there. So any of the shorts that you see on the socials, because we're all over the socials, like any of those, like any of the content that's available where you're listening. Let us know what your thoughts on it. And also follow us. Follow, or forward to your friends. Like we said, if you know someone who's like, this is a bit of her, or this is a bit of him, because there are guys who listen to, or if there's someone that you think, this is actually giving me ideas of like how we are together, send them the links, get them on the journey, because once you're in, you're hooked. We've got you. So at this point, it's a bye from me.
It's a bye from me.
Yeah, she's gonna go and have a nap now, I can gather.
She is.
So until next time, thank you so much for joining us on It's All Frolics. It's been a joy. See you next time.
Peace.
With my big hands coming to get ya.